Live. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can be with me. We're live. It is early bloody morning here in deepest, darkest Georgia. It is 6 a.m. I didn't even know 6 a.m. existed, people. And we are live. Previewing the big game. It is Rovers heading to Vicarage Road, my old stomping ground. Used to live down those neck of the woods by Northwood, Ruislip, Pinner, all those bad boys. The memories. Of course, we'll get to talking about all of that in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe. We're looking forward to that. Hopefully, we're going to have a couple of Rovers standing by. I've got Millie in my peripheral. I can see her there. We'll get to her in a second. But of course, the team news should be out now. So we've got to get that to you right here, right now, first and foremost. So let's hopefully bring that up on the screen. I've not seen it, so we're going to see it together. That's right. We're going to cry together. So refresh that team news. And we don't want to see those guys right now. We want to see the start 11. So Pears remains in between the sticks. We've got JRC, Hayden Carter, Hyam Britton. I think what we expected. We've got Wharton, Travis, Smodic, Hedges, Dolan, and Leonard. Now, into the substitutes we go here. I'm building this up to a bit of something here, or something that could be a nothing. So Dolan starts, of course, which is great. We did bring in a youngster, Andrew Moran from Brighton. He's on the bench. Walstad, Scotty Wharton, Gamble, Tronstad, Garrett. We've got Mackenday, Bloxham, and Gallagher. There is no place on the books right here, right now, for a John Buckley. Now, I don't know if we should read into that or not. Of course, JDT very, very vocal this past week about players coming in. And you could see the frustration in his eyes. I saw the frustration in his eyes. And he also brought up a possible scenario. What happens if a player goes out? Now, am I reading between the lines here, of course, and suggesting that there could be a senior member of the staff heading out? And of course, some people are looking at Dolan, and Buckley's name has also been reared up as well. So could be a scenario that plays out over the course of the week. Of course, this is the final week to make transfer business at Rovers. I think if we're completely honest with ourselves, we still probably need in another 2 and keeping the rest of the squad. And if somebody was to go, we'd have to look to get a replacement in for that person as well. But anyway, that's the starting 11. Gallagher on the bench, became a father this week, so congratulations to him. Of course, new signing Moran's on the bench alongside Bloxham, who makes the squad. He's been on pretty good form for the academy. As in the first couple of bits of business. No Niall Ennis. Gamble also comes in as well. As for the Watford team, let's have a look at that then. We've got Bachman between the sticks. Not Batman, but Bachman. Bachman between the sticks. Hoot. Porteous, of course, Scottish international, one that we were linked with a while back when. Kona, Seema, Esparia, Bio, Delibashu, Martins, Kayembe, and Andrews. On the bench, they've got this young Georgian fellow who's pretty savvy. Keep an eye out for him. Ince, of course. Livermore offer the experience. Nagakia, Rajovic, Loser, Polish, and Morris with Hamer, not that one, between the sticks. Now, if Millie can't hear me, hopefully she can. She has to make sure I can see her face, because I cannot see her face in the little bottom down below. So if she is ready, I'll bring her in and ask her a few questions about this tricky away game. We hope to also catch up with Philly Pete, who is over in of course, Philadelphia. And I'm actually gearing up to head up that way myself. So, yeah, kind of hope this game gets called off. Weak attack. It is a little bit of a weak attack. So what else we got? I am up early, James, BCFC. It is very, very early here in the US of A. And Jamie just says, can't see us getting anything from this game, I'm afraid. Raymond Rennickson also says, tough game awaits. And of course, weak attack from Steve. And also a big shout out to Vicky Cunningham. She was first on the box there to say hello. So welcome to everybody who's joining us live. Still waiting on Millie, I think, trying to sort out a technical snafus, perhaps. We shall see if she can pop up on to say hello. But yes, you know what? This game is a big one. It's but the form book is pretty even. Stevens Road has not been the greatest, but we've had those kind of run-ins recently. The Rotherham game where we were up against 10 men, got ourselves back into the mix, and then what have you, fought ourselves from on the brink of nothing to get something out of it. And then last week, of course, losing 10 to 10 men, go down to 10 men to get ourselves to fight back, to get ourselves in front. But only to lose that game. So Raymond Reddick is also straight in there with a 2-1 loss. He's also put it on the Super Brew, which is wide open, which is free as well. Let's see. I think Millie might be edging closer here to talk about the game. Of course, it's an away game, a tricky away game. So it'll be a tough old place to go. It is a tough old place to go. And I like Valérien Ismaël. I'm a big admirer of him. So we'll see. I think Millie might be ready. We're gonna go wild here. When it's live TV, we're gonna try and bring her on in. Millie, are you there?
It's letting me put the camera on now, but not not on my face.
No, what are you on? Are you on a phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on my phone.
You're on the phone. So you might need to grant access to it somehow. Well, I think we can hear you. If anybody's in the chat can guarantee that you can hear Millie, we will just pretend she's in the cupboard. She's hiding in the cupboard. She's because it's a tough away game, and I'm barely out of bed myself. So, if can anyone confirm that you can hear Millie? Say something to the wild world, Millie, so they can hear you.
Hello, Rovers fans.
There you go. She's there. I can hear her. I think Raymond Reddington also says he can hear her. So you are there. We can imagine just hiding away there, because it's going to be one of those games, a tough old game for Rovers to go to Vicarage Road. As somebody who lives in the area of die-hard Blackburn Rovers, what is the vibe amongst the community that you know? Are people happy with the current state of affairs with Rovers, like genuinely for a season? Because from somebody who's a big Rovers fan, I can see nearly something. I think I can nearly see.
Yeah, it's the back camera. The back camera's working, but then the front camera's not.
Bless you. But from the perspective of being down in the ground around Ewood Park, what is the take from the people that about Rovers, their transfer business, all that kind of stuff?
That I can tell you now, they're not right happy.
I bet you they're not. It's a lot of frustrations going on. We're trying to get new players in. There's always seems to be a delayed reaction, and we've been on the cusps of some signings recently that have just been that have stalled purely because of the Venky's handling of things. And I get it, it's their puppy, it's their project, they're putting the money in it, and of course they want to vet everything, but it kind of sucks that they don't have somebody locally that can do that instead of having to wait hours, if not days, to get things over the line. But elaborate more on the community, what you're hearing and kind of concerns about the start to the season.
So obviously I work in football, so I work at Rovers, and I work down at the Anchor as well. That always seems to attract Rovers fans, supporting the local non-league club. But I can tell you now, they're always having something to say. When I'm serving the fans at Ewood, for example, they'll sit there and they'll say, "Oh, it's not good enough. We need a striker." And I'll say, "Yeah, mate, I know we do." But obviously, I mean, like you said, if they're not willing to pull out the money, because obviously strikers are the more expensive ones. If they're not willing to pull out the money for a striker, then I don't know.
Yeah, it is concerning, and I'm reading a lot of other stuff this morning about possible player sales, which I know we are in that sort of selling business these days to try and keep ourselves afloat. But the talk is there's written talk, confirmed talk from Nixon, who of course is a journalist out in the UK, saying that the Premier League clubs are stacking up to take Adam Wharton away, possibly even as early as this season. But also rumours, mumblings about John Buckley. Two local lads. Well, not local. Lads that come through the academy. Wharton definitely is a local lad. Buckley was tipped to go very, very far for Rovers. Had a bit of a stuttered start this back in the last season under JDT. But what would the community and yourself think if some of these young local-ish lads were to be sold before they really get to make a good impression at Blackburn Rovers?
Well, so obviously Buckley, I've been told, he's from Preston, so it's not Blackburn, obviously. So I mean, if he can attract the like of the Premier League, then obviously go for it. He's only young himself. I think he's 25, 26. So he's only young himself, so he can go. I'd say go for it. As for Adam Wharton, I mean, he's come up from our academy, and obviously he grew up round Mill Hill, Blackburn. So obviously that area in itself, if you was to turn around and say, I grew up in Mill Hill, but now I'm playing for a Premier League side in their first team, I mean, that's a story and a half to tell, isn't it?
It is. But it also kind of happened Phil Jones was the sort of the main breakaway star that we brought through our academy in recent times. You could say Damien Duff, of course, from an Irish perspective, but Phil Jones coming through, going to Man United, and not really. Maybe had some moments, good moments, and we still look back on him as a solid player that, again, it might have been before your time, but a decent player that came through our ranks. Sold too early, really, and didn't really excel. Sometimes a move like this early could stall your career. But have you seen enough so far in Wharton to think that he can go that extra distance and really make a name for himself?
I'd say so, yeah. But obviously, the phrase is the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I mean, like you said, Phil Jones, he went, and obviously, we all know about that. But anyway, if he can make it, he can make it. But I'd say stay at Rovers for another couple of years, because obviously he's only young himself. Stay at Rovers for another couple of years, get in the first team as much as he can, and then build himself up.
Indeed, that's what we hope. I think what I'm hoping, if we are going to have to do some sales, Buckley at the minute, I don't think he doesn't staple himself into the side. He's not a guarantee, so he could be expendable. I think Wharton right now is the shining light for Blackburn Rovers, and he could be worth a really good bit of money, which could give us good foundations for ourselves, maybe give ourselves some good transfer kitty for next season. Of course, if we can kind of strategically plan his departure and get a bit of money coming in ourselves. And then, of course, we'd have to look for the next sellable asset, because that's how we are these days. Unfortunately, we're not as much as I want to be a Premier League team. We are not, but we have got to do the right things off the field to set the foundations for the next few years. And who knows? We could still be, contenders at the end of the season. And that's another thing. It's a gamble. If we keep a hold of Wharton, keep a hold of Buckley, and everything works together, who knows? We could be Luton Town next year, being in the Premier League with these guys already. So dangerous times ahead. What are your thoughts, or what's your takes on the team news? Of course, let's switch focus back to the game here. The major surprise in my eyes, I'm looking at it, is I guess Harry Leonard to start. Dolan remains in the side, so young Moran coming in from Brighton on the bench, and young Bloxham coming in from the youth. So no major surprises, but it does. Like I think it was mentioned in the chat, look a little bit weak up top, and that is, of course, the main area that we are looking for, is that striker to kind of give us the next level. But from that talk of the team news, what is your thoughts about our chances today?
Well, obviously we're working at Ewood. I've not managed to watch any of the home games recently. And then obviously we're only just into the season, so it's kind of the same with the aways. But I can tell you, going off last season, that this starting 11, it is a weaker starting 11 than what it usually is. But obviously we have lost Dak and we have lost Brereton Diaz.
That is correct. They are the two main attacking threats throughout the years. I want to divert here to a question in the chat here. Jimmy Panastone says, is Sigurdsson still injured? Yes, he is. I think he's on the grass, like training, but it'll be another couple of weeks, probably after the international break, before we get to see him. But it is a much changed side, and again, that phrase you already brought up, the grass is not always greener. Dak seeming to be the bone of contention or bone of frustration with Sunderland fans yesterday, wanting him off the pitch against whoever they played, Coventry last night. So despite his move to what appears to be it's a good opportunity for Dak, but not really settling in well at the minute. And Diaz, of course, making that change to Spanish football. But it opens up the door for the new guys, the new youngsters. Harry Leonard, of course, opening up this season with a goal. Chances for him today. Do you think he's got a chance to score against a tricky Watford?
He might have a chance, But then again, anyone does.
Yep. But he is the central figure here, and he has looked savvy, of course, in front of goal. Just the one goal, but he would, if he could get a goal today, he could really silence the critics, the doubters that he could be more than just a fill-in, and maybe even be an actual regular this season. But do you think he could actually take that on to be a regular starting player for Blackburn Rovers this season, Harry Leonard?
I do reckon so, yeah. If he carries on the way that he is, then I reckon he'll be a regular.
Well, I hope so too. We've got a big week up ahead for Blackburn Rovers. Watford today, Harrogate on Wednesday, and then Plymouth on the following Saturday. All 3 away games as well, so very, very tricky. Of course, yeah. Do you plan on heading out to Harrogate this midweek?
So the Harrogate game, they done us dirty with the tickets wise. So obviously Harrogate have only released 400 or 450 or so. And then Rovers have put it so you have to be, I think it was a season ticket holder first, then the 1875 second. And obviously with us having the away following that we do, they're sold out within minutes.
Yeah.
So we didn't manage to grab a ticket because it didn't even go on general release.
Well, that sucks. I did see a lot of people talking about how quick the allocation went and how difficult it was to get a ticket. But we will see, and hopefully, if you could look at these next. Well, let's start with today. What are you hoping for? Final score between Watford and Rovers. If you're being honest, truthful, spotlight's on you, even though we can't see you in the cupboard.
I think I predicted it to be a draw at the beginning of the season. For our first 5 games, they showed that we did. So I think I did predict it to be a draw. I'm pretty sure I went with a 1-1. I can't remember off the top of my head though.
That's fine. That's good. That's a solid pick. I think I've gone with a draw, an optimistic draw. It's probably more than likely going to go the other way, but you never know. And of course, let's have a little sneak peek up ahead. Harrogate. Do you think we'll have enough in the tank to beat Harrogate in the cup?
We best bloody do. Yeah, hopefully we do, but obviously it won't be putting out because it's Harrogate and it's the cup, so it's not like we're playing like United and we have to prove ourselves to them. So obviously, I mean, I think he's just going to put out a team full of youths. He's not exactly going to put out Sam Gallagher, and John Buckley if he makes a return, and Tyrese Dolan and all that. He's not exactly. I don't think he's going to put them on.
Well, I think there will be some regular big faces. I think we'll get to see the new goalkeeper. I think he'll get to start this game. I think he's been waiting to get him in there, and I think I thought he could play today, but now that he's not playing today, he probably has to play Harrogate. Give Pears a break and give the new Swede a debut. But Millie, I'm going to let you go. Of course, I appreciate you giving up a bit of your Sunday morning / afternoon. To talk about this.
It's all right. I'm going to the pub to watch the game with Jacob.
Yeah, we go. Make sure he doesn't have too many whiskies, a little wild child. and we appreciate you guys doing your bit, and we look forward to catching up with you a little bit later on. So again, appreciate you coming in, and of course, have a good afternoon, and we'll catch up with you later.
You too.
All right.
See you later.
Catch you later. Bye. That was Millie live in the cupboard. She couldn't figure out the front camera, but she of course gave a bit of a time. So respect where respect is due. Now, Steve, congratulating Sam G on, of course, his arrival this coming past week, the birth of the child. We may or may not get Philly Rovers here to talk about because it is early. You know, he's probably slept in. I nearly slept in. 5 a.m. I had to get up. 5 bloody a.m. It is 6:23 now. I'm on my second cup of instant coffee. Yep, instant. You know, put it in your eyes. That shit. You know, we're trying to make yourself awake. But are we looking forward to the game? I think I've got actually a better feeling within me for this game than I did for the Rotherham game. I had a really sour note, and even the Hull game, I also had a little bit of a, when you just know that it's shit, you just know. But I've got a feeling that we could do something here. Moran, I'm looking forward to. He'll get 10 minutes at least. I think we'll see a bit of him, especially if either we're so out of the game or we need bring a little bit of magic as well. Somebody mentioned Venky's, and now I'm triggered. I thought you said somebody mentioned Venky's, and now you're hungry because it's chicken. Anyone tried the Venky's chicken? I do want to do a bit more world travel, and I'd love to go to that neck of the woods and try the Venky's chicken to see what the rage is all about. So if it's that good, because I'm a big Colonel fan. Me and the Colonel are like this. We're like brother from another mother. Me and the Colonel Sanders. Oh yeah, and actually it's the birthday tomorrow. So I must do KFC tomorrow. I think that's what I'm going to do. Moran sounds as good as Harvey. That's what we get. That's what the vibes I'm getting. So hopefully we will see him. We'll give Pete. Oh wait, Pete he's got out of bed. He's in his pajamas. Oh, he's not. Holy shit. What's Pete doing? I can't believe what I'm seeing here in the corner of my eye. Just remember this. Now, if you're not giving a thumbs up to this, do so now, because Pete is early. And I don't even know what he's doing. Look at that crazy guy right there. It's Pete. How are you doing?
Hey, Dirk. Bright and early here in Philly. We're live at the starting line of the Philly 10K. And yes, Dirk, we're not taking part today in the 10K because we'll be cheering on the Rovers as they look to solidify 3 points against the Hornets today. But these runners, they'll be racing to the finish line as fast as possible to get to Hilltown Tavern and meet me there. We're hoping to get the 3 points today. Lineups out there. I love the local view there from Millie, but this is the foreigner view here in Philly, live here in the morning. We've got our coffees and we're ready to go here bright and early at 7 a.m., Dirk. And yeah, lineups out, Dirk, and it's a woozy. This could be a big Sunday for a next 4-day span here with the transfer window closing on Thursday. So there's a lot of news and a lot of business to uncover and unwield here in the next couple of days. This game is the first tipping point of it, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling here, Dirk. It's an exciting day for Rovers here. We're on prime time today on Sky, which Dirk, Philly is the headquarters of Comcast, the parent company to Sky. We'll be taking it to Don Goodman. The ratings will be for the Roverseas pregame show today.
That's right, Pete. I appreciate you, of course, stopping by this early morning. Of course, both you and I feeling the rough end of the stick here, 6:30 a.m. Hopefully you're not stopping any runners there. She looks a little bit excited. She must be a Rovers fan there, rocking the red jersey. But score prediction from you, Pete. What are you thinking today?
Yeah, Dirk, I've been pretty confident as of late. I've been going with the wins. We've had the win, we've had the draw, we've had the loss, but they've been decent games, Dirk. But I think today, if we can scrounge a draw, if we can get a point out of this one here today, I think we'll be doing good, and I think we can go home happy. We can go home on that new bus. We can go home with a point from Vicarage Road. Then we go back home, and I think Watford hasn't had a win away since December, so I'm thinking the Rovers get the point today. They get 3 at home, and they do well against the Hornets this year. I think the Rovers go away today 2-2, 1-point draw for the Rovers here today.
All right. And what about for your Irish side of you? Of course, we made an Irish signing this past week. Moran, of course, coming in from Brighton. You excited?
Yes, I am excited, Dirk. I like the Seagull coming on. The Brighton man, Mr. Andrew Moran, and I'm hoping for big things. He's had a brace on Tuesday versus Walsall, who we're familiar with, just beating them in the Carabao Cup a couple of weeks ago. So we know that they're decent, and we know that brace meant something. So I'm hoping he can come off the bench today, like our lads of Britton and Neal and Gallagher, who have done something off the bench. He can come off the bench today and get another brace there and get us that brace that gets us a draw or the win, gets us over the line, gets us some points today to go home happy.
Thank you very much once again. And again, I'll let you get out of it. It's nice and early. Any closing comments before I let you go?
Dirk, I just want to say that I'm calling on Greg Brown to do the business and calling on Steve Waggett yet again. I know we have 4 days left in the window here. I know we've gotten the business done here with Wallstedt. We've gotten the business done with Andrew Moran, but we got to keep going. We got to get that striker in. We've got to bring something into the table. Support JDT, and he will do wonders for this team, Dirk. I know we can do it today versus the Hornets. I know this is Elton John's land, and we're going to be proclaiming Philadelphia freedom here today in Philly, but we are Rovers fans first and foremost, and I think we can get 1 point, but let's go for 3. Let's take that new bus down there. Let's bring on Andrew Moran and show him what we're about, and then work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and get Greg on the mission here. Bring in the striker, bring us the business, and let's do it. I know we're going to be Buckley, where is he? What's going on? But if we bring in something, if we bring in the pieces and support JDT, we can do this. Bring it home, Rovers. Get us the points today. Pete with Philly Rovers. Dirk, good luck in the studio today, brother. I will be watching you for sure.
All right, I appreciate it. Look at that energy at 6:30 a.m. Respect to Pete. And, of course, we'll catch up with him later. You're the man, Pete. Appreciate it. That's Pete's thoughts. Of course, the thoughts of Rovers fans are around the world. We're all over the place. We've even got South African Rover. We've got me down in deepest, darkest Georgia. I've got Pete up in Philly. I'm sure there's one over in New York. We're everywhere. And, of course, I'm sure we've got some Chileans still out there. But that's the short, sharp pre-game talk. I did go for a draw myself, optimistically, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see. Hopefully I'm right. And of course, yes, we got to maintain this positive vibes. Of course, it was a bit of a delayed reaction to that, to the signing, of course, announced on a Saturday, which was a little bit bizarre. But if we can get something today, a positive point or more, take the new signing, get a couple more through the door, lock the door, make sure no one goes. And, of course, we'll see how we get on for the rest of the campaign. This is it. This is the week to define our season. If we don't make any more signings and we lose a player, the transfer window is a bust. So we need at least to either lock the door and bring at least 1, maybe 2 in. 3 would be fantastic. We've still got a load of loan space, loan capacity. So there is scope for that. But when will you do a Saturday show like last season? I thought about doing it yesterday. I really did. But it's my birthday weekend, so I'm kind of like having a little relax. Soon. I'm heading up to PA this week, so it ain't gonna be. It'll be the next time Rovers are on Sky. So we'll figure it out. It does take a lot of work though to figure all that, and I was not in the zone. But I do like those. It's a very hands-on project. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. Get ready, flip over to the next stream. We'll be live very, very soon. But until then, I've got to go get another cup of coffee. I've got to tweak some stuff. And of course, I'll see you when I come back around for the actual game. Till then, the new bus will power them over the line to win. Let's hope Spankus Monkey. Yes, indeed. I'm going to see you guys on the game. I'll be back in about 15, 20. See you then.